not everything in your life has to be on social media. If you want a professional job, they're going to require professional ways of living your life. That is how it is.
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't want to see me win.
Hey everybody, welcome to No Holds Barred. I'm your host, Candicebar, and I have my co-host with me, Chris.
Hey everybody, glad to see you and glad to be back.
Hello. So it's been a week or two. So I have been traveling for a little over a week. I went from Arizona to Seattle to LA back to Arizona. I'm a little bit tired, but I was very inspired to do this show today. Very inspired. And the reason why I was inspired is because, I've had a lot of ladies, young girls, young ladies, I'll say, apply to work at our company. And going over their social media, it's embarrassing.
Well, a lot of people, my first comment of this right off the bat is social media is for everybody. What you post on there is going out to the world, to it, whether who you want to listen to it, whether you don't want them to listen to it, they're going to see it. So
yeah, and you can't erase it. It's out there. It's done.
It's there. So it really, going right into it, why do some people feel the need to post inappropriate things on their social media, but then in the same breath almost, they go to apply for a job or whatever, and there's a disconnect. They don't understand how come they're not being considered, but they're portraying a different image on social media.
Well, as someone who has hired and fired many people, I will tell you, I don't know if, and I'm not going to just stick it to the young ladies, because I've had males apply to the company and their social media was incredibly inappropriate and not in alignment with Lux Media standards, morals, ethics, values. And so I couldn't hire them as well just because of that. And you might think your social media doesn't matter. It does matter. And other companies are looking at your social media as well. So example, this is a female-run company. So, and I've said it on so many of the shows, I've been interviewed by different shows, and I'll talk about it. I'm very much for female entrepreneurship, female empowerment, proper female empowerment. I'm completely against the slut culture. And just because you see someone on social media, different celebrities, you see their tits and ass all the time. It's not shocking. Just because they're doing that and that's how they got famous and that's how they make their money, that doesn't apply to you. And if you're applying to a professional organization, a professional company, you have to be professional. And that goes for your professional life and for your personal life. It all matters. And we do take that into account and we do take that into consideration.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely think, people have this conception that, yes, there is a work life and a personal life separation, but when you are a face of a company or a ranking member of a company, say, for me, example, being a studio manager. Now, would I want to have on my page that I'm a studio manager, but I'm I'm doing, all this crazy stuff, taking pictures of my butt and stuff like that. I mean, people, you know what I mean? There's a huge level of disconnect. I mean, you're trying to put on this professional thing, but then on your own page, you're posting yourself doing all of this other stuff. Now, I'm not saying, not to have a good time, not to, do whatever, but there is,
there's standards.
Yes, and you don't have to post it online. You also can keep some of this stuff for yourself.
How about that? If you absolutely feel the need to show your TNA because that's how you get your self-value and that's how you get your worth, for some reason, that's a deeper issue. That's some childhood shit. We can go into that if you want. Not everything in your life has to be on social media. If you want a professional job, they're going to require professional ways of living your life. Is how it is.
Exactly. I mean, you're
I'll give you
representing them.
I'll give you an example. I hired and fired my own niece because she wouldn't take out her nose rings. And prior to working with the company, she had a list of expectations and what we stand for and what we will and will not take. And she signed off on that. And knowing standards of the company, decided to go against standard, and I had to fire her. So she got herself fired. Because I'm not bending, and other companies aren't bending either. You need to fall
That's the
into
thing.
their mold, not them fall into your mold.
No, no. I mean, I'm all about, self-expression and everything, but if there is a certain an image and a certain level that you are expected to, represent, then you should be doing that. I mean, when you're part of a company, or I mean it the even retracting what I said before, it doesn't even matter what level you're at, you're still representing the company you're working for. They're not going to want to, I mean, it becomes a liability thing, when if they're doing this and that, and say you have a client that looks, oh, I'm going to go look at so and so's page just because I'm excited to be working with them, I can't wait to see what we'll be doing. And then you go on their page and it's just all this shocking stuff, and I mean, that gives them an image of you that totally changes what their perspective, and like you can't get angry at them for that. I mean, you're posting this, you're allowing this image to be what, seen as what, you are in agreement with, whatever, so you can't be like, well, that's not my business mentality. Well, how do we know that?
It's not, well, it clearly is, because it's not aligning unless you're a sociopath. Everything has to align. So it's, again, my huge part of my life is like getting women away from the slut culture. Like, what you wear to club isn't what you wear to work. And actually, if you're wearing it at the club, you need to figure out why you're wearing that at the club if it's inappropriate. It's all attention, right? It's all attention. One size does not fit all here. It's like, just because you feel like doing it doesn't mean professionals and people hiring you and the powers that be have to accept it. They don't. And you're
That's
wondering why you're not getting good paying jobs or good jobs. Well, you have to reassess yourself, because you're not living up to standard. You're not at standard.
I've heard this before. Dress for the job you want.
I
Dress for
just
the job
posted
you want.
that. Don't dress what you are now. Dress for where you want to be.
Like it, you know, it just goes back to, I guess maybe it's an attention thing or
Oh,
whatever.
1,000,000%. 1
Um,
million percent.
I I'm all about getting, resting on your laurels, and maybe say you've done something exciting or cool and you want to show that on social media, go for it. You climbed the mountain, you went skydiving, you fixed an instrument, that's awesome. That's great. But I mean, we really don't need to see another video of somebody, twerking or
One
whatever.
more video. I mean, that just puts
And
you, that it's one more of those chicks in the ocean. There's a million of them. So if you want to be different, do things different. You're allowed to, you
yes,
can still be smart and classy. You can still do those things.
yes,
It's not outdated. And
no,
it
no.
says a lot about you, actually. There's not enough smart, classy ladies out there. There's not. We need more of them. We have enough. We have more than plenty of slut culture going on. We have plenty of it. You can check that off. We're good to go on that.
We're good to go.
And you're not Kim K, you're not Cardi B. You're not. You never will be. So
I
go
think that's
toward,
the other thing. That is
you're not
definitely
those
the other
chicks.
thing.
And that is actually called manipulated media. And that is around for you to feel bad about yourself and want to be like that person, though you are not that person and you will never be. Be like you. And a lot of people don't know
Yes.
a lot of people don't
Yes.
know who the fuck they are.
Well, that's the thing, is because you're, like you said, they keep seeing this manipulated media. They keep seeing this. They keep seeing, oh, this is how I should be. This is what I need to look like. This is who I need to act like. This is what I need to aspire to be. But that's not true. It's like, much with anything in the media, there's a camera, you know what I mean? And what you see is on that screen. Everything else going on behind it is all, through the magic of editing and everything.
Smoke and mirrors.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And it like you said, it's just, there are plenty of women out there to and men. I'm not saying this is everybody. This is
Agreed.
everybody.
Agreed.
There are
Where
plenty of
where
people
is
to look up to.
where is appropriateness? And if you absolutely need to dress like that or need to be like that or have that kind of attitude, there's places for you to work that are like that. It's just not a professional setting that you'd be proud to say that you worked at this particular place. And
Right.
also stop thinking about today and now. Start thinking about in 10 years. In 10 years, hopefully your life looks extremely different. And think about
Should.
looking back, are you going to be embarrassed about decisions that you made, or going to be proud of yourself about decisions that you made? So stop thinking short term, start thinking long term. And
Exactly.
also, it also goes on having also with hiring, go back to hiring, not just how you look. Looks do matter, and people do make quick assumptions, by the way,
Yes.
no matter what they tell you. And they do hire on how you look because you're representing the company and you're a
Exactly.
part of that team. Also, too, do you have a personality? Personality is key. A lot of people nowadays, for some reason, don't have their own personality. Have a personality. I don't care how you look. You be the prettiest girl in the room. Have a personality, or else you're just a pretty boring girl. Also, too, um, be a good conversationalist. Be in the
Yes.
know. Be in the know of what's going on. Have your own opinions on topics and things. These are all really important things. Then also very important, if you're applying for a job at a professional company or organization, know about the company, know about know about
You think,
what you're applying for, what type of company is it, what they stand for, what are their morals, ethics, values, what
yes.
do they focus on, what are they doing. It's good to know about what you're walking into because they're
Y-
going to ask you, because
Yeah.
I asked.
Well, I mean, it makes no sense. It's like the for in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think, if I'm going to apply to something, it's going to be something that aligns with me, aligns with what I want to do, aligns with where I want to go. I don't understand the point of just applying willy-nilly to every, application, application, application. Well, why? And then you get to the interview and you're like, so what do you guys do? And it's like,
Or they ask you questions, like if they ask you, have you looked us up or anything, and you say no,
no.
immediately my brain is like, this person is not interested in working here. Like we're no company, I don't care how big the company is, no company is looking for someone who's lackluster. No
Yes.
one is looking for someone who just wants something for now. Everyone is hiring for long term.
Well, that's
Um,
the thing. I mean, nobody wants to hire somebody for a month or 2 months, like
No, not unless it's like already like seasonal. It's already determined. Seasonal work,
yes,
it's part-time work, something like that.
of
But
course.
everyone's hiring for long term. They put in a lot of time to train you. It's time, energy, and money. So don't waste people's time if you're not ready for what's going to be going on.
Boom, right there. Like, really, do not waste people's time if you're not ready for what's going on. Like, come
Mhm.
on. I mean, for real. Well, don't you think about like when people do that, I just have this one question. Aren't you wasting your own time? Like
Yeah, they are. But again, I think people are thinking short term and they're thinking about today and they're not thinking about in 10 years.
no.
And also, is that, if you do have to shift, example, the way you dress or your mindset, is that only going to better you for the stepping stones of where you want to be?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't it? Like it takes, you know, throughout your life, are you wearing the same stuff you wore, a year ago or even
No,
years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. You are constantly changing. And I mean, if this is something that you are looking to do in the way you want to better your life and go in a direction that a like a company is going in, wouldn't you want to dress to that standard? Wouldn't you want to be up to that, like to be that sort of that level? Like
yes,
I feel you need to push yourself. You want to look that and look great or whatever. You want to feel good about yourself. I mean, if you look good, you feel good. I don't know. There's a lot to it, and
agreed.
it's just I feel like you said we can go back to it. It's a lot of attention thing, but I mean, you get good attention from dressing well and presenting yourself well.
Yeah,
Like,
because nowadays, off your point, nowadays it's kind of rare that, you're not seeing everyone's tits and ass hanging out and that you're covered, but it's actually, it's nice clothing, you're put together well. And you get compliments on that constantly because it's a rarity.
Yes, yes. I mean, for example, if you don't mind me using this as an example, high tea.
Yeah,
I will say our group was hands down, we were the best
best
dressed. We
dressed.
looked
And what he's talking
fantastic.
about is we celebrated my birthday early in Los Angeles and we did high tea at the Peninsula and it was a themed birthday. So we did cottage core, kind of, I did like Alice in Wonderland, kind of like however you want to describe that,
It was,
Victorian kind of thing. And
it
our
was
group was absolutely the best dressed group.
oh, absolutely. I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, at some of the other tables, there were people wearing sweatpants,
At
and
high tea at the Peninsula. Hmm.
yes, you're in Beverly Hills. You're
Hmm.
coming for a sophisticated experience. I'm gonna show up in sweatpants. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like there is a time and place for everything. Sweatpants are for at home when you're lounging. Sweatpants are
Yes.
not for out.
And
I think
that's
it's
right.
Karl Lagerfeld that said, um, the demise of American women was when they decided to wear sweatpants outside.
I'm like, s- sweatpants were made for exercising or, for lounging,
Lounging. This is
whatever,
loungewear.
not for going to work or going out to dinner or going out to
Right.
a nice establishment. Like,
Right. And
it really isn't that hard to put on
it
some
goes
nice
to
clothes.
standards. Where did the standards go? And why is the bar so low now? And also goes to, do you really want your bar to be that low too? And also goes to, just because everyone else is doing it, you should want to do it even less.
Yes. Come on, stand out.
That's
Show,
right.
what I mean? Like, show that why you are special, why you're different. Because if you're doing what everybody else is doing, what's
Yeah, like
you're going along, you're with the flow. Like,
rewinding back to like someone who has hired and fired a lot of people throughout my time. We want shining stars. We're looking for people
yes.
who are excellent. We want excellence, and I'm not willing to compromise that, and I don't. um and a lot of companies are not willing to compromise. We're not moving, so you have to level up because we're not leveling down. um and then to go back to the Instagram and slut culture and just showing everything you got. If you absolutely have to have that, have a secondary Instagram, one for
Yes.
professional, one for personal,
Yes.
if
It's
you have to do that. But I
yes.
prefer that your only Instagram or your only social media is in alignment with what we stand for.
I
And
mean,
I'm doing this video and we're having this conversation because I don't think girls are being trained correctly. And I'm not sure if it's from their moms or, their circle around them, or again, media is very powerful. Um,
yes.
just a pressure or a huge insecurity or not knowing who they are inside yet. But I'm doing this video to help, not to deter someone, but I'm doing it to help because someone has to say something. And so
Yes.
if you're not getting proper jobs that you want, if you're not, leveling up, if you're not getting hired for things that you're would proud to work with or work for, you need to look at that.
I don't think you could have said it any better. It's really just you gotta think about what you're heading for, where you are, and how can you close that gap.
Hmm.
Uh,
There we go. That's
it's
all I really want to talk about today. I will really quickly, I will say the book, Believing Before Seeing,
yes.
is almost to completion. So
Woo!
yes, so the book is almost done. We already have, the, well, we're publishing it. We're a publishing company as well. So we are already publishing it. We already have the printer and we do all the due diligence on that end for that. So look out for Believing Before Seeing. It's my first book coming out. It's a series, and we're really excited about that. So you can still pre-order, and you can contact me directly for that if you want to pre-order. Um, I think that's it for now. I just really wanted to talk about that. That was really on my heart. So I hope this helps someone. Um, and you may look at it as a judgment call, and yeah, it is. I am judging. So
Step
and
up.
other companies may not tell you this, but they're judging you as well. So if you just got to step up. You got to
Yeah.
step up.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Yep, that's it. Step up or step off. So that's it. All right. Thanks, Chris. And thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. And let us know, comments below, if this has
Yes.
helped you at all. If you're
Great.
someone who owns a company or someone who is trying to apply to different companies, I'd love to hear what you have to say and what your thoughts on this. We will see you all again next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient Nasset. Nasset increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.